So first, I will invite Obichuku, our alumni in 2014, and now he is working for TED Health as a technical project management manager. Hi,
Hello.
hi, yeah, can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you.
Long time no see. How are you?
Doing fine. How are you?
I'm fine too. So yeah, today I would like you to share some experience of studying ICPM and what's the incentive of choosing ICPM, and also how it impact on your career development. Okay,
Yeah, of course. Cool.
thank you.
Well, first, I picked ICPM pretty much because I'm from California, Southern California, so there's a lot of really great schools out here, USC, UCLA, a lot of great master schools. But I was really interested in working for a Chinese construction company, and so my eyes were looking at Beijing because I had studied there during my bachelor's. And when I saw ICPM was in Beijing, and a place that I knew, and also that it's number one university in China, it was pretty much a no-brainer. If you're going to be studying abroad to another country, you want to make sure you're studying at the number one. Um, and I wasn't sure about the decision until I have in-laws who are Chinese, and I mentioned Tsinghua, and they're like number one. So I knew I was going in the right direction. So um, for me, the main thing about ICPM is the transferable skill. Project management is a transferable skill in any industry, as you saw in the list. Although it's focused on construction, there's a kind of general project management skills from an international standpoint that you gain, and that has allowed me to propel my career. So one of the main things for me was that once I got to ICPM or in Tsinghua University, uh, it was what was interesting was the very international group of colleagues or fellow students. I had instantly you have friends from around the world in like a second. I think the first 30 minutes on campus, I was connected with someone from Costa Rica. Never been to Costa Rica. So that was good. And friends from Cameroon, Malaysia, um, Thailand. Um, so it was very international. Everyone had a unique experience, and so that was one of my favorite elements about ICPM was it was a group about 8 of us, I believe, and we were all from different places, all from different backgrounds. I studied politics in my bachelor's, and there was others who were more engineers. So it was a great mix. And so one thing I want to mention is that coming from a humanities background, politics, jumping into engineering is a big jump. Um, but with the type of colleagues I had and the professors, that jump I was able to mitigate that jump and learn a lot. Um, the main thing about ICPM that I like was the the kind of the courageous ambitiousness of the entire program. The professors are professional and they have a lot of interesting ideas. You have the space to be innovative. There's a very big push for innovation in ICPM. That seems to be the main thing and stays in your head. And so when you're in a space like China that's moving so quickly and it's so and there's this question about how you can make changes and be innovative, it has allowed us to kind of at least me to grow. And so the international perspective, innovation, all that has led me to what I do now is I'm an international project manager for Teladoc Health. So this is health information IT. So just like this Zoom call, I basically work with hospitals around the world and their infrastructure and help them connect a robot that can move in the hospital, or allow patients to connect through their phone. So all this has brought me all like where I am now has all comes from ICPM, which kind of changed my career.
All right, thank you. Thank you for your experience sharing. So apparently, ICPM knowledge taught to you is helpful for your career selection and career development, right?
Correct, correct. Particularly project delivery. Project delivery was one of my favorite classes. Project
Oh,
delivery kind of, because the thing about ICPM that folks need to understand, it's a lot of like scenarios and teams. So you when you enter class, you're usually put in a team and you're given a task or scenario, and you have to work on that task. And when you do that so many times with someone from Cameroon, someone from Thailand, someone from Malaysia, you get really good at understanding the cultural nuances of different people, to deliver on a project or implement. And so, like the project delivery class, I used a lot of that in my work. Another class that was amazing was there was the summer classes, like you mentioned. The summer classes are really interesting. You have professors from different parts of the world come in, and you know, they teach. And one of the classes, there was a professor that came in that taught us about the different cultures. And one of my favorite courses was on a course about how to work with creative people. And the professor outlined the different cultures and how that can affect the project, how you have to be aware of certain holidays. Through my career, I've been working for global companies. So I'm aware of Indian Diwali holidays, Filipino holidays, how that can affect the project, Chinese holiday, that nothing's happening when it's Chinese holiday, Chinese New Year. So all these little things that seem like small actually can impact the timeline. So project delivery and that cultural class, I think it was kind of an HR class. Those kind of allowed me to be more sensitive and be very brave. So after leaving ICPM, I felt comfortable enough to go to every single boss or supervisor and say, any international thing, any international projects, put me on. I can do it. And your resume shows it. So they kind of say, okay. And so that has allowed me to kind of grow. And a little bit is that I started with Epson. So when I graduated, I came back to California, worked at Epson America. I had to deal with Japanese parent company would come in, and there was cultural nuances there. I worked for Red Bull, so there's a little bit of Europe, and so there are cultural nuances there. I worked for carparts.com, an e-commerce company, and we had teams in the Philippines and in India. And now I work for Teladoc Health, where we have global teams everywhere from South America, Europe, and even parts of Asia. So in each one of these companies, I always had my hand up for delivering on international projects. And now that's why I really suggest ICPM. It's a very noble and strategic degree. And the one thing I will say is that that thesis, the thesis dissertation, is it's important. I think for me, I felt the power of ICPM when I defended my thesis. The reason is because the professors really put an emphasis on quality. They really want you to deliver a solid thesis. I struggled quite a bit, but I came out somehow on top. And it was because of the push from the professors that allowed me to deliver on a quality thesis. And that means a lot, because when you go to Tsinghua, there's other programs, but I used to boast that ICPM had one of the hardest thesis defense So when it was approved, you know, I thought it was a higher league compared to other programs.
I'm very glad to see that ICPM is benefit for your cross-cultural communication and also the cross-cultural management in such multinationals, and you got such wonderful work experience. So thank you again for your support today, and yeah, thank you for your reflection on this program. And yeah, hope to keep contact in the future and hope you get a very bright career path development in the future, and also take care in such epidemic situation. Okay?
Thank you.
Thank you for your time. Thank you. See you.